And I forgot the music. Hold on, folks. Sorry. It's the music part that I forgot to load.
It's the music part.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. Sorry, folks. Anyways, I'm Ramon Mejia here from the Little Bitchy Podcast. This with me is
your daddy,
Edgar Acosta. My daddy, apparently.
Daddy.
Yeah, according to some neighbors, he is my daddy.
Yeah.
Who's your daddy? Now we know.
Just not wearing the ball gag and the clamps.
It's a story, folks. We'll tell you later at some point. Every single week in the podcast, we bring you the roundup of the week's best geek and tech news because we discuss that news, of course, anything else we happen to be interested that week. And this week, we're going to be talking about some great stuff, including
Stabby Girlfriends. Yeah. Toys R Us closes. Aww. Luigi Bulge. Deadpool 2 reshoots, the movie trailer showdown, and much more.
Yeah, some fun stuff. So, of course, we begin our show, though, with geek news. I like Julie Preston.
Hey, Julie. Love ya.
She is nice. Okay, we begin our story. Look, she's a nice. I remember her. I know
she's awesome. She's one of the greatest people in the world. Period.
She's a nice lady. I remember her. We're gonna start Stabby Girlfriends. That's our first story.
Speaking of, hey, Julie. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Imagine this, folks. One night, after coming home and falling asleep, you were violently awakened by your significant other stabbing you with a sword and at least two of their knives. How do you react? Hopefully as chill as this dude. Alex Lovell from Camas, Washington, a self-described athlete. He plays video games for a living, I guess, like an e-athlete. He basically was being stabbed by his girlfriend after she found Tinder on his phone. One of those weapons being his samurai sword. He lost 3 fingers and multiple slashes to his body and hands. But he said he was really chill. All the doctors and the ambulance guys were like, this guy's pretty chill for having swords sticking out of him. And he says he credits his chillness from his love of martial arts. And that's why he was, able to endure the attack. In his own words, he says, I've been preparing my whole life for something like this. Really? That seems, No. It's really Tinder cheating girlfriend crazy? Yeah, I don't think so. He says that he was able to Wing Chun his way to survival. He was just so proud for his beating samurai wannabe crazy lady that hate in her heart, something like that. So there you go. It was an entertaining story. You might have heard it before, but really, that's pretty chill. Okay.
I'm trying to find it because I gotta see what this girl looks like. Okay, I'm looking at the dude.
Kind of looks crazy. Yeah.
Kinda? Yeah. Or okay, because my thing is, let's see. I'm gonna just check images. Looking at his picture, not exactly, he's not a chud. He's not a great looking guy or anything, but he seems to be just really mellow. He looks like he'd be smoking joints while he's
he could have been. Maybe that's the real secret to his chillness after getting stabbed.
He's very mellow. But my thing is, okay, yes, bad on you having Tinder. Oh, obviously you're.
It doesn't mean anything bad necessarily.
Yeah, acting upon it unless it's a regular thing. But dude, how can you not? You're being penetrated with a blade.
Kind of things apparently some people are like, oh, that might have been what saved his life. He didn't overreact and get his heart pumping too much and blood loss. That's what Kevin Smith said when he had his heart increase. He was like, the doctor said the thing that saved my life was the fact that I was just chill. That I was just not overreacting
oh my God.
and making it worse. Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm. What do you think? Obviously she's gonna have to get some time.
Oh no, she's probably going to jail. They show her in court. Though? Yeah, with in jail, handcuffs
cuffs and everything.
Yeah.
No, but okay.
Getting all stabby is generally a bad crime.
So she was just a girlfriend, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm gonna blame it on him too for not being committed, depending how long the relationship is. And it's a little. I'm gonna say both sides.
This could have been an old app that was on his phone for the last whatever. He just forgot it on there, or whatever.
I'm gonna say it's a 2-parter. Him for not being a good enough boyfriend, and her, and I'm gonna put it out there, ladies. Her for not being a good enough girlfriend.
I'm gonna say it's partly his fault for not keeping his pointy objects safely stored away. You should have those things in a locker in a safe container. That way, anything that your girlfriend can stab you with should probably be put away.
Oh yeah, the knives, guns, whatever, stabby things. Yeah, oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. So there you go. Okay. Next story, talking about getting stabby.
She must have been a demon in a snack, though.
That's probably what it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Crazy girl.
Crazy chicks, especially if she owns a bird.
Yeah. Okay, I'll leave that one with you, man. China's terrifying social credit system isn't planned to be fully implemented in 2020, but we're seeing some facets that are being put into place. In May, people who've committed acts of serious dishonor will reportedly be unable to travel on trains or flights for up to a year. According to Marketplace, the system has already been used to deny loans to discredited members of society. The program was first formulated in 2013, and the list has grown to include $9.5 million people by the summer of 2016. So basically, this is a program that judges your social status and based upon the things that you do, which includes things like you do on social media, things that people report against you. So it very much is like almost like I'm gonna say a popularity contest, but it's kind of geared in a way of like, social constructs. Like, is this good? Remember, this is happening in China, so it's like the Communist Party. Is this good for the party? Are you supporting them? Are you doing the other little things? Have you been a faithful communist?
Pretty much being judged in our case, judged by your Facebook. So if you depending on your post, depending on what groups that you belong,
groups like social media, like Facebook, but like essentially you're being judged by the things that you do, and serious social crimes in a way are impacting your ability to get loans and to get now things like train tickets and plane tickets.
Oh yeah, because that was the thing I think in America for some companies. They'll do a background check on you, of course, so depending, for crimes that you've done. But some people will actually, everybody does it. Google the name, Facebook the name, see what you post. Be sure you know what settings you allow your Facebook on, because if you put it open to the public, they're gonna see everything.
Yep,
and
everything.
Come on, even I admit I got some stuff. I post certain things, questionable.
And this is kind of a solidified form of that kind of judgment.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's very interesting. Who gets to judge? How many points you? I'd be really interested to see like the mathematics and the actual algorithm.
Oh yeah,
determining this stuff besides just being, you're my political enemy. Like what counts as a serious?
Like who's a Republican?
dishonor?
Who's a Democrat?
Yeah.
Okay, you're a Democrat. Oh, F you. I'm gonna
part of
stick with
this
these
is
guys.
part of this whole thing is definitely political, in that the members of the ruling party have political enemies, and so when you have enemies like you, and it's a kind of dictator state, you can use your tools to discredit them and to make them less powerful. So,
Both pros and cons on that part. It's just getting all up in your biz, pretty much.
Okay. Next story: Klingon. You too can learn Klingon online. Klingon has been like an actual language since Star Trek in 1979. They included into like the Klingon dictionary in 1985, where Trekkies could actually learn how to speak the language. And it's definitely a geeky language, which is why it qualifies for this show, Geek Bytes. But if you're one of those people who always want to take a class, I guess, you can do that online. Duolingo is a popular app that helps people learn languages like Spanish, German, Russian, Gaelic, and more recently, Klingon. So you can actually go online to their place, and you can. It's available on your regular computer or your iOS, on Android as an app, and you just choose the language you want to learn. You don't even have to sign in or anything, and it kind of lets you decide like how fast you want to learn, and it makes you translate sentences from Klingon into English and English into Klingon, and kind of helps you build a vocabulary and kind of learn sentence structure that way. But it's a very interesting concept. Like, you too can learn Klingon in 5 to 10 weeks.
I always thought it was made up. Like
it is.
No, I'm talking made up. Like you could fake your way to a
sort of,
like it's a call. That could be an actual word.
Could also be German.
Exactly. But like, what's another big movie language that you see that gets adapted? They actually even had to put up
Elvish.
There you go. You got it. A font. Any kind of planetary movies usually gets that done.
Those are just like general like made up words, like a bunch of gibberish. Like Klingon actually has an official sentence structure, which is why they can do this. As does like J.R. Tolkien's Elvish. He actually made up a full language with vocabulary and sentence structures, and it's it's all documented, so it's an actual considered language, even if it's a derivative of a bunch of other things. And so I think I just nerds everywhere like, hey. We can learn Klingon, right? We can learn online now. Yay.
If you could do Ebonics, you could do Klingon.
Yeah, Klingon's next. I'd be more interested in Klingon. It seems more relevant to my geeky life.
Yeah, Klingon to me is a very kind of clear your throat kind of language.
Nah, that's a lot of things to learn. You can add an accent to it, and then it's on real Klingon.
Ooh, that sounds pretty hot.
Absolutely.
Irish Klingon.
Things to use in your bedroom now. Next story, we have the sad news. Toys R Us is apparently going to be closing.
Guess you have to grow up.
After 70 years in business. That's right. They have to grow up now. The iconic toy retailer was shut or sell most of its 800 stores in the United States, affecting about 33,000 jobs. Toys R Us is basically citing other stores like Walmart, Target, and other big box retailers as kind of taking their marketplace, and then Amazon essentially speeding its demise. However, the truth is probably closer to the fact that somebody bought their company and is planning to sell off all their assets and leave the actual company with debt. A company called KKR and Bain Capital and real estate investment company Verando in 25 times. They bought the company basically. They purchased it for $6.6 billion, but the company already has like $4.3 billion in debt. So the plan is basically to sell off all their assets, rake in that money for them, and then kind of leave the company to rot.
That's a, say it out there, shitty move, man.
But it's a way to make money. I mean, they're not purchasing this company for charity or to make it like, oh, this is the best thing ever for my childhood, so we're going to bring it back for you guys.
It reminds me of have you ever seen the Producers? The Broadway show? You know, like, let's get all this money to put on a bomb intentionally. And
then collect the insurance money.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not the same thing. It's the concept is similar. Like you're intentionally buying a failing business because it's failing.
Yeah. My thing is, my heart goes to Toys R Us because that was actually one of my first jobs that I've had growing up. I was actually an ROP student, so I was actually working for them for free, but they liked what I did and decided to keep me. It was great. It was fun. You're literally working in a toy store. Yeah. So if you're into toys and all that, you were literally in heaven. It's like they didn't seem like a work day at all.
Most of us remember those commercials from our childhood. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
But you have to now.
I can't sing the rest of the song because it's copyrighted.
Is it still copyrighted when the company's out of business?
Yeah, the company, somebody owns the company still, which includes music
the
rights.
Jingles and all that stuff.
So there you go.
Well, we're going to go, as in me, my family members and whatnot, we're going to see our local one, see if it's still up and running. Because the debate was, I think, the standalone Toys R Us stores are closing down, but we're not sure about the combo ones because there's those combo Babies R Us / Toys R Us stores. So they might, at least a little bit. But we'll see. My thing is, I'm going to go check it out.
You're looking for good deals. Yeah,
let's be honest. People do that.
Okay. Next story: Luigi Bulge-gate. I thought this was a funny story. Basically, there's a new Nintendo 3D graphics game coming out, including Luigi playing tennis, and people are getting upset over the image because apparently Luigi has kind of a bulge hanging out by his crotch.
So he's the bigger brother.
Apparently, and people were actually, there are two crowds. One just offended that Luigi has a bulge somewhere, and he apparently has a penis, and he's not just all Ken doll smooth. And other groups are kind of trying to figure out the mathematics about exactly how big is he. And that's a whole nother
girth by length by
they're estimating like, oh, if he's flaccid and he's this big, erect, he should be this big. And it's one of those funny things that I just thought was entertaining.
How big is he?
Yeah, that feels like a end of the Hollywood Babylon episode.
Luigi stands for large.
Mm-hmm. He's the bigger brother.
Yeah, exactly.
He is taller. Those shoes do look pretty big.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. So there you go.
That's hot.
That's just funny. It's just funny. People were upset that first it was like Mario's nipples, and now it's Luigi's bulge. These guys are apparently not mannequin smooth.
Hey, they got to be realistic, man. You want to sell some games, you got to show some bulge.
Physics are included, man. I mean, there are physics included for ladies. Why not for the dudes?
Yeah.
Next story. Infinity Wars. Apparently, Captain Marvel is getting her scenes cut. I thought that was weird too. Because remember, we saw her jumping out of that airplane.
I thought it was going to be that T'Challa move and work her into the.
No, that she was supposed to. I mean, she was originally supposed to when somebody else was directing it. Joss Whedon wanted to have Captain Marvel coming in earlier, along with Spider-Man at the end of Age of Ultron.
Yeah,
that got snafu'd. Now the Russo brothers wanted to add her Captain Marvel to her, but things changed apparently. And apparently, according to Screen Rant, Joe Russo said that. When he was asked what was the best costume, he said it would have been Captain Marvel, but her scenes had been cut. So it's actually official that she's not going to be the movie after, even though she was reported many times in the past, like, having a big part in this movie because, she's essentially Superman. And she was like one of many, many, many heroes that were supposed to show up in this movie and probably die. But it would make sense, like, you would want a powerhouse like her to face off against, like, Thanos. Like, it would make sense. Like, she comes out of retirement because of Thanos, who's threatening the universe, the world.
Well, remember the whole ordeal that we were talking about because we weren't exactly sure which route they were going to go for Infinity War? Like, the big character in the comic world, it's Adam Warlock.
Yes.
So-
And they tease him at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy too. Like he's apparently going to come out.
Yeah, and they've had figures of him. And there's the other debate about it. I think it's going to be a two-parter, right?
Nope. I think it's just
Single?
it's one Infinity Wars. I don't know if they have a second movie planned of a different name. They have a new Avengers movie coming out after that at some point. But I don't know if it's going to be directly tied into Infinity Wars. It was originally supposed to be like a 2 or 3 part movie.
Yeah.
Whereas Infinity Wars Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, or whatever it is. And then they shrunk it back down just to 1. And so I'm like, that seems really interesting considering how many heroes are in there, how much stuff is supposed to happen.
I thought it was either going to be one long-ass movie or they're going to have to make it a two-parter.
It might just be one long movie. Or it just could be like, oh, this is the Infinity Wars portion, and then Infinity something later when we see how popular it is. You know?
Oh, it's gonna.
There should be some resolution here.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna look at that trailer later, but
Yeah.
I'm sad to see Captain Marvel leave. In better news, though, Amazon is probably going to spend up to $500 million on 2 seasons of Lord of the Rings. They purchased that intellectual property for television rights for $250 million, and they're doubling that for their budget for the actual film or for the actual television series, which is more than I think somebody paid to make the movies, like the original movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can look it up. Obviously, it's the internet, but that's a big budget. Like,
my thing is on it is I was surprised they were fighting so hard to get it because I got to give it to Amazon. They are stepping up their game when they're putting up content on there.
It cost them $93 million to make the Lord of the Rings, and this budget is for $500 million. Called it,
bam,
and that
better pay off. If not, well, technically, the CEO of Amazon is now technically the world's richest man, according to Forbes. He actually...
It depends on the day. Like, sometimes he's up, sometimes it's down.
It's between him and Gates. It's like, fuck you.
It's there,
I got it. No, I got it. Yeah. But my thing is on it is, like, they are stepping up their game. Hopefully that better make some kind of money back.
Oh, no. I mean, remember, they don't make money the same way that other companies make money, like selling the movie necessarily.
Yeah.
It's going to be part of the Amazon series. It's going to be for their subscribers, right? So the way that they make their money back is through getting new people on their subscription service based solely on like, oh, we have this movie and this thing you can only see here if you're a subscriber or have this certain benefit. And it's, whatever, $90, $100 a year.
So it's the benefit of Prime.
Yeah, and that's what they're selling. They're counting on that movie, that television show, bring in new subscribers. And sometimes these things work out and sometimes they don't. There was another article recently talking about like which titles in the Amazon catalog have done the best and which have done grabby as heck.
Yeah.
Girls Revolution was one of the original Amazon series, and apparently it costs like $1,000 per new subscriber. Like that's how few people watch that show.
Wow.
So it costs money to get that new to acquire that new customer to the Amazon subscription service for Prime. But there are other shows where it's like, oh, it's like a $2 investment. And so they're totally making money every time that show brings in a new subscriber specifically.
Yeah, I've been catching, of course, like Joe Rogan's podcast and stuff. They're trying to figure out if Amazon's going to step up their game also and start doing some more stand-up comedy kind of bits. I think
like Netflix. Netflix found that I think to be relatively inexpensive per return.
Yeah. So they're going to go that route, and I'm just wondering who's going to catch it because I think Amazon did one for Bob Saget. I'm not 100% sure.
Well, yeah, it's one of those things like you had to do those in advance. Like a lot of the more up-and-coming comedians have already been snagged by Netflix because it's easy and popular to do. Amazon is definitely the less popular of the streaming services at this point. So
really,
who has between Amazon and Netflix? Netflix totally has a majority share market.
Okay, and who else would you throw up there? Hulu, Amazon, and
you also
Netflix?
have like the cable channels that also do their own streaming stuff. CBS, HBO.
Oh, okay.
Any of like the regular channels like CW, they all do streaming services now where people pay to do their thing.
Wow.
Including AMC. There's a bunch of more players, but again, a lot of them are just not as big as Netflix and not as popular. Like Netflix definitely has a larger market share, which means they generally have more money to throw at new content. Whether it lands or not is a different question,
That's
but
true.
they have the money to spend and they have been burning through a lot of it.
Oh, yeah, because they have that information where it says, like, they won't tell you the numbers.
No, they don't have to.
They won't tell you how many people are watching. They're like,
don't
oh,
care.
it's doing all right. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. I'm like, you're going to get paid this amount of money, but we won't tell you who's watching, who's not watching.
Again, their model is not dependent on people necessarily watching it and paying to watch it. When you have people like ad people, they want to know exactly how many eyeballs are on that thing at any one time when
so
the
they can
commercial
cash
plays.
in and hey, let's do an ad. No,
Yeah, so they can sell ads basically, right? And so that makes more sense. That's their model. That's how they make money for their station and for everybody. Amazon and Netflix don't need it. Their revenue comes from subscribers.
Yep,
It's that simple. So there you go.
there you go.
It's just keeping them. That's the hard part. Okay. Next entertainment story. Gotta go some entertainment now. Josh Brolin confirmed this week that Deadpool was actually going to do some reshoots, and most of us were kind of concerned, especially when the reports came in that some of these scenes in the movie did not go over well with the audience, and some people even saying like, "Oh, it's an Alien 3 blunder," which is considered one of the less popular versions of that movie. Fans also speculated that these reshoots were meant to like fix some problems. However, other reports coming from Collider basically say that the reshoots are being done to add more Cable and more Domino into the film because those characters tested positively with the audience. And so they're doing it to add extra goodness, I guess.
You ever been at a test screening for anything?
I've seen some, yeah.
No, but been in one.
No, I usually, I've been to the mall a few times where they show you like the little handheld things over your head and they let you watch a movie and then you take a survey at the end and they give you a little prize or whatever. I've done those before, but I've never done like a sit down test screening. I've done like premiere screenings where like I knew some people at a studio for a little bit where like, oh, come and go see, whatever movie just came out.
Yeah, we did that a long time ago in like, I don't know what grade school, elementary school. We actually went out to LA, Hollywood, as a class, nice. Which we were all like kind of pretty much test monkeys, if not research rats.
Yeah.
They made us watch like a 20-minute clip of a TV show that's like a pilot of something that was coming out. No big names, or at least nobody that I could recognize at the time was on that show. And they give us a questionnaire, but they also gave us like a controller, which, red and green. I'm like, did you like this? Hit the green. You don't like this? Hit the red. So,
right. It's very like instantaneous gratification kind of thing. Like, oh, your reaction like, in a moment. Right.
Boo.
Yeah.
But it was kind of funky. It was a good experience, but it was weird because I've, never had that done before. So I was always wondering how they do the process. How do you determine what sucks and what doesn't work? And, without... We were kids, so we didn't actually had to sign like some kind of confidentiality kind of thing, like, oh, spoilers.
No, yeah, there are whole companies who do nothing but like product testing and like movie screenings and stuff. I'm sure they have their thing down where they get a pretty good gauge of like an audience where it's like a wide range of people.
Oh, I would love to cash in on it.
Which story do you think is true? Do you think it's they're changing some bad stuff or they're adding more good stuff?
Got to change the bad stuff.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Yeah.
Why add more?
Yeah, dude. If it's already good, you don't spend extra money to make it extra good.
You don't fix. You don't fix. What's it called? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Reshoots are expensive because you got to get those movie stars back. You got to get them the exact same costumes. Some of that stuff might have changed.
Location, makeup, depending on the shot.
They may be doing other things. And so that is like really super expensive, especially.
Yeah, can you imagine?
You got to get a whole new crew. Got to get all your equipment. Get everything set up. Permits, whatever it is. Yeah, it's way expensive.
Can you imagine like a scene like Titanic, right, where the boat's crashing, everybody's falling and dying, and just nobody's like, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
Like, you mean really we're gonna have to redo that whole shit? Because I didn't like her line.
That was CGI, but I get what you mean. Like it's super expensive. So I'm thinking like they were just that didn't test well, and that's what they're actually changing. And they're trying to spin it, saying, "Oh no, we're adding in extra good stuff that you guys like at home."
Tits.
Yeah, maybe. Well, that movie had some, so it's rated R.
That's true. Yeah.
The more, the better. Mm-hmm. Okay. Speaking of, I guess. There's a lady. Yeah. There's a lady who's going to be directing The New Gods. Apparently, that's going to be an actual movie. The lady who directed the Wrinkle in Time, which is $100 million plus live action film. That one cost $100 million to make. I think most of the money went to Oprah because she's in that movie. But her name is Ava DuVernay. She has a deal with Warner Brothers, basically, where she's going to be directing the big budget adaptation of The New Gods. So if you don't know what that is, that's where Darkseid comes from. Here's a small little snippet from the article saying, The New Gods was the genesis of the uber villain Darkseid. Darkseid. Also called Fourth World, the Kirby creation debuted in a trilogy of related comics written and drawn by Kirby that were published in the very early 70s, New Gods, Forever People, and Mr. Miracle. The New Gods came into existence after the world of the gods of classic mythology were destroyed during Ragnarok. Hey, look, we just had a Ragnarok in the Marvel Universe. Coincidence? The deities inhabited 2 planets. One is New Genesis, a lush paradise, and the other Apocalypse, which sounds like Dante's version of hell. War ensues. So there you go. It's actually a really cool kind of concept of like good versus evil, good gods versus bad gods, super powerful entities, superheroes by another name, basically. But that's where you get Darkseid from, who's been featured in the latest DC Justice League movie.
Yeah, I've seen the Justice League animated series of this episode, if you will, of this concept.
Yeah, they did the New 52 version of the Justice League, and that was their thing. We're getting people together. It's like, oh, Darkseid came.
I think it might be a little too out there for non-DC fans, but worth checking out. It's going to be quite a bit on her plate for her to handle. So if she can knock it out, good for her. More power to her.
I'm curious where they introduce it into the DC Universe timeline. Like whether it's going to be whether they're going to try to make this thing before like introducing Darkseid on Earth. Or if it's going to be like, oh, here, or that's going to be there, like Justice League 2 or 3, whatever it is. And then the New Gods as like a prequel version of like, this is where Darkseid came from.
As long as they step up their game, because once again, they watched it, but not exactly happy.
Steppenwolf was not amazing.
Yeah.
He was, and like, they actually cut out Darkseid from that movie. Like, he had original cameo, it was CGI'd already. There were people who test screened it and saw him, and then they cut it out. Because
I would understand a silhouette,
they don't
a
like
background, show the back of the leg.
Or maybe they just don't want to spoil it for the other movies coming out for it.
Everybody knows who he is.
I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Next we have with Avengers Video coming out, there's AMC's going to do a massive 31-hour movie marathon for all of the Marvel movies. So it's going to happen over the course of like 1.5 days. I'm pretty sure they're like stretch it out for 2 with like bathroom breaks in between, but that's literally 31 hours of Marvel movies back to back to back to back. And is that something you'd be interested in, like just camping out for a day and a half?
Okay, they've done this before, not exactly 31 hours, but they've done that before. I think before the Avengers. What was the?
They've done it for Star Wars. They did it for like other intellectual properties.
Yeah, the build up for the movie.
This is pretty massive. It'll go from Tony Stark and Iron Man 1 all the way to the Black Panther.
Yeah, because last time I checked, when they did it for the first, not the first Avengers movie, but Civil War. I think it was for Civil War. They had a big build up thing, and for the people that actually paid that ridiculous amount of money for the tickets and all that, they got this really cool medal. So the medal was actually kind of like, hey, like a marathon. I
wonder how much it costs on eBay right now to buy that medal. Like whether it's worth the purchase of the ticket price.
Just depending on the collectors.
Yeah, kind of.
I honestly, you'd have to get some sleep because I've done the Disney 24-hour party thing.
You could probably sleep through some of the Hulk independent movies.
Those
you could sleep through. Those would be the ones that if you catch a nap on.
Unless they do something to like in between the movies, make get a little fan interaction, say Robert Downey Jr. actually comes out or something like that. It's sleep through.
No, if you're a super fan, great.
I'm sorry, sleep through the Thor movie.
Instead, like spend 2 weeks watching it at home. Like, go rent the DVDs or go purchase them on Netflix or whatever. Renting them is probably going to be cheaper.
Yeah, if you not already own them.
Yeah, so there you go. And you can skip the bad ones, I guess, and watch the good ones.
Have a party at your own place. Throw your own little marathon kind
barbecues,
of thing.
Nachos, the food alone, the food savings. Imagine all the food you got to buy there at the place.
Yeah, because the only place that I would recommend to do the marathon thing, of course, would be the El Capitan Theater, because they actually have the props. They actually have the costumes displayed out there. And from all the movies, they have the little plaques and everything. That's definitely worth it, because you're going for an experience.
Well, especially whenever you're doing something like this marathon thing, you're kind of expecting an experience with your friends. Like it's something to talk about at like parties later on. Like, oh yeah, we once spent 31 hours in the theater. We peed in cups. We never left our seats, and you don't want to know we did the other stuff.
Oh yeah, because fun. Yes,
that's how Tommy got pink eye.
But that's also like depending on the individual. Well, you got to have that schedule available because depending on the line of work you're doing.
Yeah, a lot of nerds would take off work for that one. They would.
It's kind of no different than those people that camp out just to get the tickets for Star Wars.
Yeah, it's like I guess I'm over that kind of level of like fandom because I'm like I'll catch that on like the movie or the theater. Like there's really no rush anymore to be there on the first day necessarily, because
to be that one, it's just for the story, which the stories are fine and all, but if you don't do shit on that,
unless you're part of a community who's totally doing that, like they're actual communities who are all about like being there and like camping out for a week in advance, and everybody knows each other, so part of the experience is seeing those friends again. And that's fine.
So I would make it fun. I would kind of,
Yeah, I'd rather do things at the house and just like have barbecues every day.
Oh yeah, but if I was to do the theater thing,
some carne asada, go rent a taco guy.
God, totally. But if I was going to do something like that, the marathon thing to make it momentous or whatever, I would probably streak across the stage if it has a stage, rocking nothing but the Captain America shield, covering the doors or whatnot. Or unless I want to go, bam, and just show it off like that, and everybody like, oh. I'm like, yeah, America.
Okay, now for some sad news. Celebrity deaths. We had a celebrity death this week.
Would you consider him a celebrity?
Stephen Hawking is more well known than just about most people in the entire world, man. Like, he is absolutely a celebrity. Like, even if you look at him from just the television and movie point of view, he's had better pictures and better cameos than a lot of actors in the world. And he's an actual scientist. He's probably one of the most well-known scientists in the entire world, man. So, yeah, I'm going to go with he's a celebrity here.
Okay.
But when you hear him talk about on How to Babylon, totally celebrity death. He was 76 when he died. Again, he's a theoretical physicist who worked on early black holes, and he transformed the way scientists think about nature of the universe. He actually wrote a whole book talking about theory of everything. And he contracted ALS in his 20s, and nobody expected him to live into his 30s, but instead he lived to 76. So he absolutely beat the odds, and he made a contribution to the world that the world actually matters to them. Our understanding or our theoretical concepts and of black holes and other concepts. I'm like, okay, that is an actual death to celebrate and to honor.
I didn't get a chance to watch that. It's not a documentary, but the movie of his life. Yeah. Did you watch it?
No, there's Academy Awards for it, though. I didn't watch it because I'm like, oh, he's still alive. It's not as relevant yet. Like, no, really. I generally don't watch documentaries of people who are still alive. Like, they're there.
Really?
Their stories aren't done yet.
Okay, that part I understand. But a biography, would you watch a biography on him?
Yeah, if he's dead. Otherwise,
you wait till he's...
Yes, because otherwise the story's not finished.
No, that makes it even awesome. To be continued. Like, oh, what else has he got going on?
No,
or what's he gonna...
It's like the story's not done. How is this actually relevant yet? Like, yeah, you can talk about some of his science in other
his
contexts,
accomplishments.
But a biography about a person is kind of not complete until they're dead. You know what I mean? Like
I get you.
An autobiography about the important portions of their life when they're older, great.
What about a memoir?
I would read his book, which is an autobiography, but like memoirs, maybe. But like a biography, he's not dead yet. Please don't do that. I mean, he is now, so please go ahead.
I loved him because that's why I was kind of debating about his the term of calling him a celebrity, because I understand
I know you were super sad about the rumor that Pamela Anderson died.
I was like, really? But it's jokes, fake news, and all that thing. Yeah. No, but my thing is like, especially the roles quote unquote as a celebrity when they put him on.
I'd say he's more famous than she is.
Yeah,
100%.
My thing is like I kind of wanted, since I didn't see that movie about his life, or
well, now you can
at the time,
it's on Amazon special.
I just wasn't sure if he was a funny guy, because I always have a thing for nerdy guys with a sense of humor.
It's hard to get humor when a computer talks for you.
Well, that was the thing, because you saw him. You ever watch Big Bang Theory?
Yeah,
he's actually has a couple of guest spots on there.
No, he's done a lot of like nerdy shows. He was also did an interview with John Oliver on Last Week Tonight, and one of the jokes was like, John Oliver was like, "Hey, and if there are a number of infinite universes, does that mean that in one of those universes I'm smarter than you?" And his comeback was like, "Yes, and there's also a universe where you're funny."
Yeah, so
good he had jokes. Good. He's not a dumb person. Nobody who's ever met him thought he was dumb or like not intelligent and funny.
Yeah, because when it comes to intellectually superior people, they feel like they're beyond everyone else. That kind of thing.
I don't think the man felt beyond anyone else when he's literally can't move more than like his nose at some point. Yeah, it's hard not to be a little bit. I'm like, yeah, man, I can't move.
I gotta give it up for his caretakers, whoever was stuck around to just all this.
He even had like social. He had issues with his marriage, and towards the end of his life, where I think there was like issues of infidelity-ish. Like he kind of fell for his caretakers who maybe spent more time with him. But even beyond that, he had a very purposeful life.
Okay.
He made contributions.
Now, what do you think? This is kind of a weird PC way of viewing of a humor of him. Would you consider it bad taste to cosplay him?
Maybe not this week. Maybe don't cosplay him this week. I mean, it's just a week of respect. But next week, sure, why not?
Okay, because there was a thing on the Big Bang Theory where one of the characters created a remote control Stephen Hawking toy, if you will. He's like, is this bad taste or not? Because, it's an RC toy, but it's a Stephen Hawking. He's like,
no, you can talk into it. You say talking to the thing, and it gives it the voice of yeah. Then I think it's fine.
That's a satire, but I guess that's up to personal opinion.
There you go. So that's the end of our geek news section. We have a movie trailer showdown, and then we're almost done, folks. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trailers that came out this week. That were pretty cool. Want to share them with you, get your opinions. We'll talk about it as well, of course. If you're in chat, hanging out, you feel free to talk about it live to us. Plenty of people joined, and then they left. They're like, nah, we're cool.
Because you kept my shirt on.
Yeah, all kinds of folks.
You gotta be like that.
Melissa, Ramona, Tony, Roni, see, all kinds of folks.
And the rest.
And yeah, here on Geek Bikes Aisle. Okay, Infinity's War trailer. This is the second trailer. It is, honestly, it's pretty cool.
Everybody freaking filled the cup, man. Everybody filled the cup. Basements were damped. It was just like,
No, it's absolutely awesome. I've watched it several times, just trying to catch all the little bits of it. And every time
people were studying it.
Every time I watch it, I see a little bit more things. Like you see the Infinity Stones that he gets, where he gets them from. I'm like, okay, these are all very cool things. Like you keep watching his fist to see which new things are there.
And the biggest thing was like the interaction. Who's talking to who? How's it,
Everybody's talking, but they're all fighting the dude. I mean, that's not a question. The big question is like, who do you think is going to die in this movie?
My thing was, especially with all the names, all the characters, all the everything that's going on, who do you think is going to get the most screen time? That was my question.
Spider-Man. I'm going to go with Spider-Man. I think he's going to be like the linchpin. Like he's the innocent dude who can kind of go through all the different groups trying to fight Thanos. I think that's going to be the thing, that they're divided in a way with Captain America's side and Tony Stark's side.
Right now,
it's supposed to take place 2 years after Captain America Civil War, where there's that split where Captain America has been on the run for 2 years. And so I think Guardians of the Galaxy is going to join up with Captain America. Black Panther is going to join up with Captain America. Galaxy is going to join up with Tony Stark and Iron Man.
The rumors on it, they're thinking it's either going to be between Captain America or Iron Man that's going to die. Because they're saying
I think everybody's going to die. I think just about everybody's dying. There's going to be like 1 or 2 characters who are breaking the time-space continuum and go back in time to change something, like reunite Captain America and Iron Man so that they're buddies, and together, through the power of friendship, they can be Thanos. Yeah.
The only thing that I've noticed, especially if you're not into the spoilers, don't go to Toys and check out their stuff, because that kind of gives you a little bit of spoilers.
They show you things there.
They show you things, because I'll throw it out there, spoilers for the ones that don't want to know.
I love Spider-Man suit, though. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. Do you think that's Tony Stark design or Wakanda design?
Oh, that's Tony Stark. Because
I'm going with Wakanda.
That was the one from Homecoming before he, decided to rock it.
I don't know that it's not necessarily true. I do remember seeing like a scene where like one of the Wakanda girls, the sister, was looking at a very Spider-Man like mask.
Well, that was the whole thing, because they were wondering if Iron Man's suit was made out of vibranium, because the way he kind of just went on him.
No, it's too big. Like there's too many of them. He has a the version I think he's wearing in this movie is it's almost a nanite version of it, where it like grows on him at whatever rate, and that's from a different comic arc.
The Extremis. But real quick on the spoiler I was talking about, I did go to the toy store, or at least to Target and saw their Infinity War toys. So it looks like Thor's going to get a hammer again.
Yeah.
It looks very similar to the Beta Ray Bill metal part, but it looks like a Groot wrapped around handle.
Oh, could be cool.
So
maybe that's
however that
version
comes to be. Yeah, that's probably going to happen.
Yeah, seems kind of cool. Okay. Here we go on to Ready Player One, which is the next trailer where I'm excited about. Anyways, this one's called Dreamer, and it actually explains if we could hear it. Have you seen this?
Yes, I actually saw, and this one actually grabbed my attention. I'm like, you know what? I'm actually really want to see this.
Yeah,
one
I think this one is probably the best one so far because it doesn't just get on the virtual reality vibe train. It actually tells you a little bit about the story and why they're in this world and what was so exciting for the builder of this virtual reality universe, Holiday. Yeah. And why he was so, nostalgia driven, because that when he was happy in life, and like any super million billionaire, you kind of create those things that you were happiest in life. And you wanted people to be excited about the things he was excited about, like most nerds. And this is how he did it. He offers them the opportunity, if they find 3 secret Easter eggs or 3 keys, that they can own the entire multi-trillion-dollar worth company. And this is a company in this world, in the future, that basically is the foundation for all commerce in the world. Like everybody goes virtually to do their work, to do their bids, to do their wherever, to make things, to entertain themselves. Because the world kind of sucks, like more so than it is now. Like people live in stacks of like trailers stacked on each other. And so this is an actual huge company. And so the fate of the world is at stake, basically. And so that's part of the explanation in this movie that it wasn't in the other trailers. I think that's a pretty good draw. But of course, there's also a bunch of cool nostalgia stuff.
My thing is, especially when you're pretty much limited to your imagination, people are really not thinking as big as you think they would. If I could
Well, they're in the book. There's a ton of intellectual properties that the author totally ripped off that he doesn't have rights to. Yeah. And it's okay because it's parody. It's but to get those same rights for the movies was an absolute nightmare, I can imagine.
Oh man!
I mean, just in this one scene, you see a bunch of things. You see.
That's why you see more of the Spielberg stuff because that's my shit. So I'm cool with that.
Well, you also see things like the King Kong. You see the
a lot of
Giant,
Universal Studio stuff.
Yeah, it just kind of depends on what they got. You see monsters. You see Gundams galore. There's just stuff there. And one thing they couldn't get though apparently was Star Wars. Like Star Wars said, Disney said, no, we're cool. I think we're fine without it being there.
Yeah, they got enough money. Unless it's their property, they could care less.
Well, no, I don't think it would like a bad pull in, but like maybe they weren't getting the cut that they wanted to. I think that's probably what it came down to. It's just rights negotiation.
Yeah, they didn't want to go the Spider-Man route.
Next one is trailers Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. You actually get your first look at Dumbledore. A young Dumbledore.
Sexy Dumbledore.
Yep. In here. And it's not necessarily the Ministry of Magic here. I think these are the American versions of the cops of the Ministry of Magic, basically. And so they're questioning Dumbledore. Like it's a time of war, and they're like, "Oh, are you in on this infiltration thing? Is this guy working for you?"
Yeah, my whole thing is eventually it's going to show towards the end of the trailer is the Johnny Depp character. He's like the negative version of the Prisoner of Azkaban because he's literally all pale white and everything. Yep. Looks like he would be like the father of Luna Lovelace or whatever. Lovegood or Love something?
Yeah, Lovegood.
Lovegood, yeah. There you go. Just because he's all pale and everything. And I'm like, ooh, Johnny.
Well, they're trying to show his evilness through age. I don't know. But he definitely doesn't look as good as he did before. Like, remember, he was like hidden though with everybody else. Like he was good at disguises. And this one definitely, this scene right here felt like, oh, those are the Death Eaters. Like that's the beginning of their signature power, like being able to shift to like this dark misty thing. But it looks cool. It's definitely nostalgic of like, oh, it's a certain period in time of history, the 1920s and 30s.
They still work the Hagrid's theme, Harry Potter theme music in it, but no Harry, but still awesome. It looks good. It's like you're getting
more of the English people. Like before, there was just the one English dude, and now you're definitely pulling in from like the larger Harry Potter universe. So like Hogwarts, you get to see Hogwarts again. You see Dumbledore,
the awesome prequel, how it came to be.
I think this is the one people want.
The Hallows outline.
Yeah, you also get to see just like a stronger connection to regular Harry Potter.
Oh yeah,
and I think this is the movie that people were more excited to see. At least I am, because the other one, while it was like, oh, Harry Potter, that's the guy who made the bestiary.
Now, is this like a 3-part prequel or
yeah? They're definitely 3. Yeah,
okay,
at least. Next one. Now, these probably aren't going to win the actual movie trailer showdown, but these are pretty good trailers to me. Game Over Man. This is the second trailer for that movie. It's basically Die Hard with the guys from
Workaholics.
Workaholics, yeah.
Yeah.
and then is entertaining for people.
Yeah, they worked in their friends from the show from Workaholics. I don't know him. He's been in other stuff, but he's always been awesome as a bad guy. Like you watch Arrow. He's one of the villains in Arrow.
Yeah. So it's very much like that, and it's goofy and comedy.
I love the something about her shitting herself. Like, it wasn't me. Well, it was definitely a girl, but it wasn't me. Kind of looks down. Exactly.
Girl, yeah. And the next one was the House of Tamar, which I was surprised that I liked, to be honest.
It was funky. I was like wondering.
It starts off like almost like this historical perspective, like, oh, this is a house that was supposed to be the future. Like, we're gonna live in these domey things that are super strong and structurally, and it becomes a tourist attraction. And kids come to look at it because it still looks kind of cool. But like people live there, like her grandma and her son, or her grandson, and he's kept indoors through this private education system, and he's kind of isolated from the world, and he lives this alternative lifestyle of like sustainability. And then he's exposed to punk rock, and the music just touches his soul, and
it happens, and it
screams. And that was the interesting part to me. He was like, oh, this is almost about music and how it creates rebellion against even like the best kind of things.
It's semi coming of age kind of a movie. Like, there's more to the world than just what what your parents show you.
Yeah, whether it's good or bad. I mean, that's a very interesting lifestyle, but it's not the choice for a young kid who has the whole world to explore. You know what I mean?
Well, when you're confined in a little space, you always wonder what's outside. It's like those people that are those Amish folks that thankfully they get that, what's it, rum and something?
Rumfeld.
Rumfeld? Or
Rumspringer?
Rumspringer. There you go. Rumspringer, where they get a chance to go out and explore. And if it's something they want to do, they could stay there, but they had to give up their home life. Or, this ain't for me. I'm coming back. Back to the barn.
There you go. So those are our 5 trailers, man. Which one did you pick as the best?
Avengers, but like I said, Ready Player One is getting my attention. It's like I want to check it out.
These two guys, like, they were never going to win. We both.
No, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch it.
That were interesting to watch.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Ready Player One. As much as I like Avengers, I'm more of a virtual reality RPG kind of fan. Yeah. So Ready Player One did it for me a lot more than Avengers. Fantastic comes in second, third, and these guys,
we're going to watch it.
Yeah, they're fun.
They're Netflix worthy.
So there you go. So that's it, folks, for the show. Thanks for listening, for watching, for hanging out with us while we geek out about stuff. If you like the show, you can support us, find out all the ways to support us at.
Do it at geekbytespodcast.com/support.
There we go. Thanks for listening once again for Geek Bytes Podcast. I am Ramon Mejia.
I'm Edgardo Acosta.
And remember, folks, to go geek out about something. Goodbye, everybody.